I've got here on the channel my first ever Sinn watch. It's made in Germany. It's very impressive. In fact, the build quality, the high gloss ceramic bezel, that high gloss dial, it really pops. And to me, it reminds me of an AMG Mercedes. This watch is to Sinn what AMG is to Mercedes. It's very loud, it's showy, it's cool, and it's built rock solid. So today we're going to have a look at this brand new Sinn 103 ST Classic 12. It's limited to 600 pieces worldwide. Let's check it out. Welcome back, guys. So as you can see here, we've got the brand new Sinn 103 ST Classic 12. This just got released, and I tell you what, I want to say a big thank you to Peter from Defined Watches. Peter was generous enough to send this down to us so we can have a look at it, and you know what, it's stunning. It really is. For those who don't know, Peter owns Defined Watches. They're based in Noosa, Queensland. A really cool website. They've got quite a few watches, and he's a AD, an authorized dealer of quite a few brands. He was generous enough to send this down to me so I can have a look at it, and I tell you what, it hasn't disappointed. It's you know, being an AMG Mercedes fan myself, this thing here reminds me of an AMG, and when I say that, it's basically a Mercedes stepped up to 12. You know, it's got so much going for it. It's got the technology, it's got the looks, it's got the muscle and the brawn, and it's a serious tool watch. But without further ado, let's check this watch out. Let's check out its specs. So basically the model number is Sinn 103 ST Classic 12. It's limited to only 600 pieces worldwide. So I'm very lucky to be able to have this on the channel to show you guys. The price comes in at $4,650 Australian. The watch is designed to be a pilot chronograph. So as you can see, you've got a beautiful reverse panda dial. Everything is laid out just nicely. You've got your 3 sub-dials, from a 30-minute sub-dial, 12-hour, and a running seconds. And as you can see, the chronograph is running at the moment, and you've got that sweeping hand, very nice and smooth. And the reason that's smooth is because the watch features the movement an SW510 automatic. I've put this on the time grapher, and the watch is running extremely healthy at +3 seconds per day gain, 281-degree amplitude, 0.1 millisecond beat error, and it's oscillating at 28,800 vibrations per hour. So the watch is healthy and it looks great. And if you look at the back of the watch, you've also got a sapphire crystal and an exhibition case back. So the thing that I like about this, you've basically got a tool watch, but it's a unique tool watch, and I'll show you why, guys. I'll show you what the dimensions of this case are. You've basically got a 41mm case diameter. The lug width is 20mm. The lug to lug distance is 45.9, and the height comes in at, wait for it, 17.2 millimeters. Now, some people probably fell off their chairs, but you know what? That's what I measure, 17.2. And the reason I say 17.2, you can probably see there's a sapphire crystal, a dome sapphire crystal on the bottom and on the top. So if I was to measure the case from the top of the ceramic bezel to the actual case back, I measure 13.6 mil. So that dome of that sapphire, you know, basically brings the watch up to 17 mil. And you know what, it's an interesting look. I actually like it. I've seen another watch like this where it's got a dome sapphire crystal at the back, and it seems to fit really comfortably. It seems to really nicely hug the wrist, and just a comfort factor. So that case back pretty much disappears into the wrist, and that's quite nice. I'm thoroughly impressed with the finishing of this watch. I really am, guys. Like I said, it's the first Sinn I've had on the channel, and the case, the tolerances, I've been using the crown, the pushers, really nice, really well engineered, and I wouldn't expect anything less. It says on it, made in Germany. And I know that anything that's made in Germany is great quality. Whenever I see a watch or an item that says made in Germany, I pay attention, because I know their quality finishing is fantastic. And that's been the norm for many years. For me especially, that's been my experience. So as you can see, the watch is a reverse panda, and it's really blingy. You've got a very high gloss black electroplated dial, and those sub-dials are not actually white. They're like a off-white cream, a very vintage feel to this, and it's quite nice. What I've got in the hand, it feels vintage. It really does. And you know, being a limited edition, being an anniversary model from 1961 to 2021, you've got 60 years. I think they've done a really nice job. I think they've done a really nice job. Something different. Something different. So it is, like I said, a pilot chronograph. It does function with all the functions of a pilot chronograph, the accuracy and the timing and so forth. And it also features a 12-hour dual time zone on that bezel. As you can see, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up again. So it's basically bi-directional. So it turns left, one click, right. So nice, solid, very reassuring as it clicks in place. You can't go wrong. A really cool look. I think quality wise, yeah, I'm really impressed. It's, like I said, it's the first Sinn I'm having on the channel, and it's just built rock solid. This reminds me of the Omega Speedmaster I used to have. It pretty much very similar dimensions and very similar build quality. In fact, this feels a little bit stronger than that. Especially using these crowns, it feels the business. It really does. You've got a screw down crown, you've got screw down pushers. The watch itself offers 200 meters of water resistance. It can handle 20 atmospheres of pressure, as well as it's resistant to low pressure at altitude. So it's a true pilot's watch, guys, but it's a blingy one at that. It's showing its limited edition 60 years. It's showing you, hey, look, we can be sexy too. We can look like an AMG. And that's what I'm seeing out of this. It's exactly what I'm seeing out of this. It's really nicely designed. I like it. It's not just a showy watch. It's actually a tool. And that's one of the things that I know about Sinn, that when they design a watch, they don't just make it to look good. They actually make it to function like a proper tool. So, and this is one of those cases. And you can see from the side here, that's their AR dehumidification technology. And what that is, it's a cartridge, and it shows you that it basically doesn't allow the watch to humidify or to fog up on the inside. You don't want that glass to fog up on the inside, especially going from different altitudes as a pilot's watch. And that's important. That's important. When that changes color, when that goes to blue, it means that the cartridge is actually fully saturated. You take it back to Sinn, they'll change it over. Again, you can go out and use it as a tool watch. So pretty interesting. I like the technology that's going in behind this. It's a serious tool. Now, if we look at the crowns, basically, like I said, screw down crown, screw down pusher. We'll unscrew the main crown. Nice solid pop out, and as you can see, it's got proper crown guards on the side. Now, if we pull it out twice, we can see that we've hacked the movement. It's stopped. We can adjust the time to wherever we want. As you can see, the date at between 4 and 5 just clicked over from 1 to 2, so we'll get the hands in a proper position just there. Single click, and we can also adjust that date, as you can see. Lovely. The hand winding experience of the SW510, nice, great resistance, and the screw down experience, buttery smooth. Locks in, 200 meters of water resistance, really cool. So I think quality wise, I can't fault this watch. I'm trying to look at it quality wise. There isn't anything wrong quality wise. Everything works beautifully as it should. Even the screw down pushers, I'll unscrew both of them. That one and that one. And as you know, when you unscrew your pushers, you obviously haven't got that water resistance rating in this particular watch. So we can stop the chronograph, reset it back to 0, away you go. There it is. So, you know, everything functions as it should. You can see it's nice. It's machined and engineered beautifully. There you go. That's locked in. Do the same thing with the bottom one. Screw it on, and away you go. Done. Locked in. The strap that the watch comes on is really nice. It's a dark green leather. It's super soft. Straight out of the box, this was extremely comfortable. On the wrist, I can't feel the watch. It comes in at 99 grams, sized up exactly how it is. But even the box itself, it does have being a limited edition, it does have some extras in there, and I'll show you guys. So the box itself comes with a second strap. It's a crocodile strap. For me personally, I wouldn't be wearing something like this. I think the green just looks beautiful. You could go to the black. You could go to something like this, but I think this is a little bit firmer. This setup is absolutely superb. It's just perfect. Are there negatives to this watch? Well, honestly guys, first impressions, I've heard a lot about Sinn. I know about their reputation. They're reliable, they're well built. I really can't fault it in that department. Everything seems to be exactly where it needs to be. Probably two of the negatives that I can fault from this particular watch, and when I say something that to consider when buying it, number one, rotor wobble. So the wobble itself, you can feel it on the wrist. I have been able to feel this on the wrist. I've never minded it personally. I had an Omega Speedmaster with a similar movement. I had a Valjoux 7750 in that, and that particular movement, not an issue. You know, it's been, it was nice to remind me that I had a watch on my wrist. So it never bothered me personally, but that's something to note. And secondly, the fact that the top of the sapphire to that top of the sapphire does come in at about 17 mil. So that's something to consider. Although this particular one at the bottom, it really is smooth. It really does, you know, sit well on the top of your wrist. There's a comfort factor. I think to consider as a tool watch, as a pilot's tool watch, you know, you've got something that it does sit well on the wrist. There you go. I've got a 7-inch wrist and it seems to sit very, very nice on my wrist. But that height, you really can't get away with it. It is what it is because of that movement, because of that automatic movement. But I can't fault the watch. As far as reliability, looks, it is a limited edition. It all comes down to subjective taste, guys, you know. But look, again, I want to thank Peter from Define Watches for sending this out for us to have a look at. Really cool. I'm glad because it's my first Sinn on the channel, and you know what, I'm quite pleased with that. I managed to get a limited edition 60 year anniversary. Not just your standard Sinn, something a little bit different and special. So happy to have actually had this in the hands and play with it, not only for my sake, but also for your sake. So I encourage you guys to get on their website, have a look. They've got quite a few watches. He's an authorized dealer for quite a few different brands. They're based up in Noosa, Queensland. From what I've got in the hand here, he's a true gentleman and scholar for sending this out to us so we can have a look at it. Really cool. Thank you, Pete. Let me know what you think, guys, about this particular watch. It's a limited edition, very classic looking, very classic styling, pilot's chronograph. The Sinn 103 SD Classic 12. It's cool, it's sexy, it's bold, it's loud. It's the AMG of Sinn. Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.